A parable, a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson as told by Jesus in the Gospels. These stories, wrapped in the cloak of everyday life, carry profound truths within their folds. One such parable, known as the parable of the leaven, is a brief yet potent narrative from the book of Matthew. Dive into the 13th chapter, the 33rd verse of Matthew, and you'll find it. A single verse, a snapshot of a story. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour, till it was all leavened. At first glance, this parable is about baking, a woman making bread. But look closer. The woman takes leaven, or yeast, and hides it in 3 measures of flour. Now this isn't a small amount of flour, it's enough to make bread to feed a substantial crowd. And yet, the woman doesn't just mix the yeast in, she hides it, concealing it within the flour. This is the first part of the parable, the hiding of the yeast. It signifies the subtle and often unseen workings of the kingdom of heaven. Just like the yeast hidden in the flour, the influence of the kingdom of heaven often works quietly, behind the scenes, transforming everything it touches. The second part of the parable is the leavening process. Once the yeast is in the flour, it begins to work, causing the dough to rise. This transformation doesn't happen immediately, it takes time. But eventually, the yeast permeates every part of the dough. Similarly, the kingdom of heaven may not manifest immediately, but it permeates and transforms everything it touches over time. Now, consider the final outcome, a large batch of bread ready to feed many. This represents the fruition of the kingdom of heaven. It starts small, like a pinch of yeast, but its influence grows and expands, eventually feeding and nourishing many. So, in the parable of the leaven, we see the kingdom of heaven depicted as yeast hidden in flour. It works subtly, unseen, and over time it causes a transformation that impacts everything. It begins small, but its influence expands, eventually providing nourishment for many. In conclusion, the parable of the leaven is a metaphor for the pervasive, transformative power of the kingdom of heaven. It is a reminder that even the smallest beginnings can lead to substantial outcomes, a testament to the quiet, persistent, and all-encompassing influence of the kingdom of heaven. It invites us to consider how the kingdom of heaven might be working subtly within our own lives, transforming us from the inside out. This parable, like a pinch of yeast in a large batch of dough, may seem small, but its message is potent, permeating our understanding of the kingdom of heaven and its transformative power. Just like the leaven in the dough, may this parable work its way into your heart, expanding your understanding and nourishing your spirit.